There is nothing actually that is easy with depression. So within a few minutes I'm going to be standing before you here today, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to try to make effort to speak about the untold story of depression. Now, like I said, there is no one thing that is easy about the word depression. But the strangest thing is that how it affects all about the personality of an individual remains the strangest thing about this mental disorder. Now, I will really appreciate that I have all of your attention because I asked some few questions, and I would really appreciate again getting some response from all of us. Now, before I go ahead again at this moment, have you ever heard the word mental health before now? If you have, please give me one hand up. Thank you very much. Can I ask that you please have that hand made up? Thank you for supporting me. Now, have you heard the word depression? Have you? If you have, please put the other hands up. Okay, thank you. Now, have you ever seen, or maybe heard, or maybe come across, maybe a family member, or maybe a relation, or maybe distant cousin, or maybe colleagues from your families, or maybe your site, your community that are suffering from this disorder? Have you? Can you stand up if you have? Wow. So that means what I'm going to speak on right now is not alien to any of us. I have over 90% of the audience standing. Please, could you clap for yourself and be seated? Some few years ago, when I retired from the Nigerian Armed Forces, I decided to leave the shores of this country to India to start a career for myself in telecom. And I was there for some couple of, months that later ran into a year, building up myself and taking up a career in telecoms. Now, before I left, I had a relationship already that started with my now wife. And little did I know that she was actually in a hurry that we settle. I thought I could have more time for myself to build up this career that I really wanted around telecoms. But I spent just less than a year, and I was already getting a lot of calls. Now, being the only son from my family, and I have, just for information, 6 sisters. There was this drive for you to get married, for you to get a grandson, for family, and I didn't know the other conversation that took place between my then fiancé and my family members. But what I kept getting was calls, guy, you need to come back, you need to get married. Fantastic. I tried to hurry up myself, finish some of my certifications, and then I came back. And then a few months down the line, Zion got back. Right? Now, I'm actually taking you on a living journey so that you understand that when we talk about depression, it's not something far-fetched. When you hear the word depression, it's something that is with us. Look, there are actually a lot of scars that we bear that still remains unseen to the eyes. There are a lot of wounds that we have on the body that still remains unseen to the eyes. In fact, some of these scars are so very deep and hurtful. However, even again, more than anything that bleeds. And so please listen to me carefully as I take you on this my little journey of my story. Got married. First year. Not too many months into it, my wife got pregnant. And I didn't know how the news was carried. Everybody heard about it. And so I kept getting calls, how's she doing, how's everything? But can I tell you, just a few months down the line again, we entered the 3rd trimester of pregnancy, but we lost again. Now again, the same year, somehow, she got pregnant again. And this time around, We got too many advisors, too many consultants. Everybody was trying to be involved in ensuring that this baby was born. But when we got to the third trimester, we lost child. This was at the 7th to the 8th month. Now, as if that wasn't enough, guys. I mean, we're lucky again. She got pregnant for the third time. And this time around, a lot of consultations, a lot of interest from family members. Hey, I have this gynecologist from here. He has 30 years of experience. I have this, I have that. And I mean, guys, the whole end of the story is that we suffered from three consecutive times within 2 years. Now, this sank my wife into depression. This was so bad that my wife would wake up in the middle of the night screaming, I should bring baby, she wants to breastfeed. And there was no baby anywhere. This got so sad and so serious that my wife would no longer have interest or pleasure for any other thing. She could sit on the chair for hours. You talk to her, there's no response. Is she hearing you? Yes. Is she with you? Yes. Is she sleeping? No. Now, depression, can I tell you, fellow friends, has a way of turning your confidence and taking away your best of abilities and replacing them with self-hatred and unusual anxiety. But just to tell you about some more about the story of depression, it is going to be very important that I have you understand where exactly this depression is coming from. Because there's no way I'm going to tell you about the untold story of depression without having you understand about mental health. Now, so I'm going to take some few minutes to just try to define what exactly is mental health. Because if you have had this conversation, it's going to be very important that you have the knowledge or at least an idea of what exactly is mental health. Now, by way of definition, WHO has told us that mental health is when, or rather, the state of mind, when you and I, or any individual, is able to identify his abilities and potentials, and is also able to cope with daily stress of life, and remain productive and fruitful to himself, and has the ability to contribute immensely to his community. Now, these four things sum up the definition of mental health. Now, again, because of the untold story of depression, it's going to be very important that you also have the understanding of mental illness. Now, when I talk about mental illness, what I simply means, again, I draw a definition from WHO. Now, according to them, they say it is the state of your health condition where there's an alteration in your feeling, your thinking, and your behavior, or the combination of any of these. Now, so because depression is, as of today, the commonest mental disorder, which affects over 322 million people across the globe. Now, so just you know that what we're talking about is very serious. This, as of today, is the leading causative factor of disability across the globe. So when you see any man having years, but yet remaining disabled, unable to function, unable to cope with daily stress of life, then you've seen somebody who is likely to be suffering from depression. But now, the actual untold story of depression that I would like us to go home with today is the ignorance around depression, the stigma that survives around depression, the untold kind of discrimination that has been exhibited by family members, by colleagues in workplaces and schools is what we need to unravel and discuss today. This has remained the unknown and unattended wound of humanity. But I'd like us to do something today. As we take the conversation of depression, I'd like you to understand that there is a space for you to act. There is a space for you to change the narrative. There's a space for you to ensure that the stigma and the discrimination that people suffer from, and especially again, the lack of attention and treatment around this mental disorder is changed. There's a lot more that you can do that you ever imagine right now. There's a lot more you can do as a person, as a people, as a community, as a nation around mental health that you can ever imagine. And one among it, I'm going to tell you before I close. However, at this moment, can I tell you something? It is a clear no that depression as of today is the leading, when I mean leading, I mean the number one thing that has remained a risk factor, a major risk factor to the functionality of humanity. And largely so, if you're interested to know that this burden of disease affects women 50% more than men. And again, not just to feel that we're going to be channeling our conversation to the gender folks. I'd like you to understand that beyond just affecting them, there is a disorder around it. That in every 7 pregnant women, one of them is suffering from it, and it's called postpartum depression. This is something that has affected pregnant women or nursing mothers that caused them not to give attention to their child. And this, according to research, has affected the growth of young adult population. But to change the narrative and to have us write the history and time, it is now very important that you and I should understand that we have a place to change the narrative around the untold story of depression. It is very important to understand that we need to engage. We need to keep speaking. We need to keep finding platforms to drive the campaign on mental health. It is no longer tenable, does not represent the human right of Nigerians, does not care and support the service delivery of Nigerians, especially again, that we have our primary health care centers without these services in them. Now, to engage on the universal health coverage, it is very needful that we speak up. It is very needful that we change the narrative. It is very interesting to say here as I close that irrespective of your personality or maybe where you fall in the society, I'd like you to understand that we need your voice to add up. We need your actions to add up. We need you to rise and speak your mind so that we can have a place for mental health in Nigeria, so that we can have a place for mental health in Awka, so that we can have a mentally healthy society that will remain productive, that will remain viable, advancing the development of this country. Ladies and gentlemen, can I tell you something? There's one thing I'm going to ask before I leave this stage that I need you to do for me, is to speak your mind. Is to rise to the occasion to understand that without mental health, it is impossible for us to have individuals. It is impossible for us to have a community, a group of persons that will be productive. And without the group of individuals and persons that are productive, that have found their potentials, that are ready to cope with their daily lives, that are ready to contribute immensely, that are ready to remain fruitful, we can have a developed country. So please, let me ask again, that how many of us seated here, having had this, are ready to speak our mind? How many of us, having had this, are ready to rise up to the occasion, to advance, and keep talking about the untold story of depression? And just before I leave the stage, I right now have 3 kids. I right now have Victoria, I have Joshua, and I have David as my kids. So the issue of depression, through support from my family members, through support from the society, we're able to overcome it. And my wife is up and well and doing, and she's very productive. So please, I have to tell you that you need to identify with people. You need to open up. Don't keep to yourself. The issue of depression is not what you think you can talk on your own. Okay? And it's not because you're weak. No. It is not because you have some personality concerns or trait. No. Please rise to the occasion that it is honor. It is just as somebody saying that I have maybe high blood pressure. Will I be stigmatized if I come here to say I have high blood pressure? Will I be stigmatized say that I'm diabetic? No. If I'm not going to be stigmatized for any physical illness, why should I be stigmatized because I have depression? Alright? Why should I be stigmatized because I have episodes of depression? No. So let's rise to the occasion to kill and to remove every iota of stigma and discrimination that survives around the world of depression. And so before I go, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to again ask of you that please, one of the things I desire that you do for me today is to rise to the occasion and speak your mind. You tell the neighbor for me, speak your mind. Thank you very much.